Hello, my little lambs. It's me, Phoebe, and today is a scripted video, which I know comes as a shocker to all of you, since I am a huge rambler, as we all know, especially by my Phoebe Ramble series. But today we'll be talking about my experience with a certain company that you all may or may not know. It's quite popular and notable for a certain color and a certain mascot. I will not be name dropping them in this video for the sake of legalities and not wanting to get handed some sort of lawsuit served to my ass. I do not need that, especially now in this day and age. Now, all in this video I'm going to be talking about is about my experiences and mine alone. So the stories I'm telling are all alleged. I cannot stress this enough. Also, trigger warning for those who don't want to hear a barista complain about their job. Oh no, the tragedy, whatever will you do? Oh my god. I know exactly what you're going to do. Comment on this video about why is she complaining about her job. It's such an easy job. Or you'll just click away. Only one of those is the right answer, and if you thought the first one was the right answer, then you're fucking stupid. For context, I've been with this company for almost 3 years. I have seen and heard a lot. Also, for those asking, why don't you just quit your job if you're so upset with the company? Like, oh, I'm sorry, are you Trisha the Roaster from Austin and Allie, who can get jobs just as easily as she can lose them? If you are, give me that ability. For now, I have to stay with the company to pay rent and bills, which I'm sure you have as well, unless mommy still lets you put her tit in your mouth. Anyways, moving on from that little rant I indeed scripted because I can. First story I will be sharing is from the early days with the coffeehouse, which, once again, allegedly this happened. On this day, I was working a sort of morning to midday shift. I was in charge of ringing up orders of all the customers in the cafe. In the middle of taking an order of a lovely lady, apparently a man who had been trespassed from the coffeehouse walked in and asked my coworker, we'll call him Pablo, if he could use the restroom. Pablo recognized the man and said he wasn't allowed in here. Next thing I know, I hear a smack. I look over and the man had punched Pablo. He had run out by the time all my coworkers were coming out from the back. That day, we all waited 3 hours for the ambulance and police to come. Second story I will be telling, also relatively early in my career with this coffee house. To remind you, all of this, again, is alleged. I was working a closing shift with a group of maybe 4 of us, including me. Anyways, it was a little bit before 30 minutes before we had to inform everyone we were closing our lobby. Oh my god, the memories of when we were able to actually do that. I took this man's order. He bought a bottle of water for his medication that he informed me he had to take. He then wheeled to sit in our lobby. Once 30 minutes hit, we were supposed to inform everyone inside we were closing our lobby. That's what my manager on duty did while we were doing closing tasks. He asked if he could go to the restroom. However, we told him we were closing inside and he was unable to use the restroom. He wheels himself out. May I remind you, he bought a bottle of water. So he starts writing on paper, holding it up to our window. He asked if he could get a water for his medication, as if he didn't just buy one to take his medication to begin with. The next paper he put up claimed that his son was a lawyer and a cop, so we had to give him water. We didn't because we're closed. We don't have to serve you if we're closed. A little reminder for you all, since some of you don't know how to act when we close our lobby. I've had people come up to the door, make a gesture for them to go to the drive-thru, only for them to come in walking. Like, no car, not even a vehicle. Like, it's a drive-thru. Get that through your thick fucking skull. We are not Dutch Bros with the window. We are a mermaid's coffee house. Third story I want to mention, because it's the most memorable, since it's technically the most notable one in my mind, at least, And again, it's all alleged. I was working another closing shift because I'm mainly a closer. It's what I prefer. Anyways, I was working with a group of 4, including myself. I was behind the bar making drinks, taking orders in the drive-thru, while my coworkers were working on their other tasks, or their position assigned, whichever. This guy comes in and he asks for a water. If I remember correctly, this was before the policy changed, so we gave him a water and whatnot. I'm not really paying attention to him because I am busy, though I can hear he was speaking loudly. I don't know what caused things to escalate when he decided to go to the back room where my coworker was, and he was asking if someone was behind him. I believe that this man was schizophrenic, but I cannot confirm or deny that, as it's none of my business, and I have no idea what happened to him afterwards. Aside from that, after he left the back room and he walked out, that's when my coworker in the back locked the door to the back room, which, good on him. I still am amazed that he thought of that so quickly when I probably would have just froze. My manager on duty told him that he had to leave, but when he was behind the counter, he said, "Fuck this, I'm out," and walked out with my coworker, leaving me alone behind the counter with him. You know what I did? I took a customer's payment and told her to call the police while handing her drinks that she ordered. Then I stood by drive-thru still telling him he couldn't be behind the counter, telling him to wait on the other side because he had asked for an ambulance and that we were going to call it for him. He wasn't listening, so I walked past him and walked out, leaving him inside. It took maybe 30 minutes to arrive after our manager came with her boyfriend, who threw the guy's stuff out and yelled at him to get out. It's probably the quickest they've ever arrived for us because apparently we're low priority, when they're right fucking across from us. As a palate cleanser for all this bullshit you just heard, I'm going to talk about the time that a man called me a rich white girl. Which to this day I'm still fucking insulted that he called me such a thing. This man comes up to the speaker and drive-thru. He orders a mango dragon fruit refresher, doesn't wait to hear any of the other options, and drives up to the window immediately. I tell him his total, he hands me his card. We have a fan above the drive-thru window, so when he asked me a question, I didn't hear him at first. So I was like, excuse me? He asked if we take food stamps. I told him no, that only the Mermaid's Coffee in California did that to my knowledge. He asked if I even knew what food stamps were, and I said, I do. He tells me verbatim, no you don't, you're probably some rich white girl. First and fucking foremost, if I was a rich white girl, I wouldn't be working in Mermaid's Coffee. I'd probably be a customer, and I'd probably be somewhere on vacation, since I remember it was fucking summer that time. I told him I was Mexican. He said, no I wasn't, and drove off, completely denying my identity. Apparently that guy was an asshole to all my coworkers, and I haven't seen him since, which thank God, because I'd actually tase him with my stun gun, which is from Tiny Protectors. Not sponsored, but every femme-presenting person should get a stun gun from them. They have cute and discreet designs. So with all that being said, since I think you all are tired of hearing me talk about these stories like I didn't even get into the 3 people that died in our coffee house, I think us baristas can complain about our jobs without all of you foaming at the mouths wanting to say that our job isn't hard. It's the customers that make it hard, so it's you. You're the fucking problem. So if you're wondering why you might be waiting 5 minutes for a frappuccino at the window of a Mermaid's Coffee, maybe don't fucking order that. Get a nice chai. That could be made in literally under a minute. Quite literally. I've made so many in under a minute. It's been amazing. Also, you ordering about 15 fucking drinks at drive-thru makes me wish you'd die. Actually, I know it's harsh, but I don't care. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If you order a shit ton of items at the drive-thru, I genuinely wish you could die in a car accident. I think about it quite often. Also, learn how to pronounce your drinks fucking correctly. It's a brown sugar oat milk shaken espresso, not a brown sugar oatmeal shaken espresso. Don't be surprised if you get oatmeal in that shit one day. If you come into the drive-thru and immediately say hello to the speaker, you will wait 5 fucking minutes because you will not speak until you are spoken to, because that's how it works in my drive-thru. If you pull up to the drive-thru and you are quietly ordering and I have to continue going, what was that? Get the fuck out of my drive-thru and come into the cafe with your order, because you're not wasting my time playing games at the drive-thru. Learn to speak up or don't order, and don't add shit at the window, because I will be so tempted to throw scalding hot water at you that I easily have access to. Speaking of drive-thru, if you pull up and waste my time by asking for a second, I'm sorry, were you never fucking taught proper drive-thru etiquette? Look at the menu that's provided to you before you pull up to the speaker. Because that's how I was raised. Seems like some of you were raised in a fucking pigsty. Speaking of pigsty, the way all of you leave your fucking trash like we're a restaurant as if we have a servers or a busser to clean that shit up, clean it up yourself, you useless bitches, because I know you have nothing better to be doing. If you have a problem with the new policy about not being able to use the restroom without a purchase, and you threaten to piss right there on the floor, go right the fuck ahead. I will get to close my lobby, call Biohazard, and call the police on you for public indecency. You fucking baby. Also, I do not give a fuck if a Mermaid's Coffee did it for you before. I'm not doing that shit. Heating up an iced lemon loaf is a no-go, so I'm not fucking doing that. With all that being said, learn how to be a decent fucking human being, because it's not that hard. And pray that you don't have me behind the counter because of how easy it is to piss me off, and you do not want to know the thoughts that constantly go through my fucking head. I also want to bring up the issue because it's still fucking relevant to this day. You are actively funding a genocide against innocent people with every purchase you made. 50,000 lives that you actively participated in their deaths, all for a fucking cup of coffee. A cup of coffee that you can apparently live without. Well, those 50,000 humans will not get to live to see another day while you can. Continue to speak about Palestine, especially if you cannot fund them. Continue to speak about them. So make your coffee at home or find an alternative. I promise you any local coffee shop is going to be better than this coffee house I work for. They'll have more options and definitely be definitely more affordable, especially in this fucking economy. I bet they'll even have better pastries, like Day 6 Coffee in Houston. The best lavender latte I have ever had and the best chocolate muffin I have ever had. Like, I'm actually wanting to go back one day. One day I want to go back and just have that muffin one last time. Also, if you don't have time to make your coffees or lattes in the morning, guess what? Javi Coffee makes coffee concentrates so you can make your coffee as easy as 1, 2, 3. Plus, the flavors they have are incredible, like brownie batter. Like, that's just an amazing flavor to me, regardless. This is not sponsored by them in any way. I just wanted to give them a quick shout out for their products because it's so easy and not time consuming at all, especially if you have to wait in a fucking drive-thru. As well as Top of the Morning Coffee from Jack Sepsky. Again, not sponsored, but it's an alternative. There's always going to be a better option. Always. Also, if you want to know just how much sugar you are consuming in your daily cup of joe, watch Hey It's Talia's video on that matter. If you thought this video was harsh, it was intended as well as the guilt you might be feeling. With all that being said, thank you for watching this video. All my socials are linked in the description, and I take commissions on Ko-Fi. Or coffee. I don't actually know how it's pronounced, but I think it's coffee. Also linked in the description. I love you, my little lambs, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye. And also to quickly add, if you have any stories about this certain coffee house, please let me know down below. I would love to hear all your horror stories about this certain company, because I feel like we can all trauma bond over it, especially over the rudest customers we have and all the crazy shit that I've seen all over my For You page on TikTok. Anyways, yeah, that's all I wanted to add. Thank you so much for listening.